All right, Stefan, when you walk into a gym like this, does it bring back memories when you were younger, coming up, trying to get your name out there?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the spirit of the entire tour, and why I'm so proud that we got to bring this to life. A little over 2 years ago, and obviously through the pandemic, kind of trying to service the kids as much as possible. But this year, finally being able to have a stop here in the Bay Area and to have these boys and girls that are excited to hoop and, like you said, build their confidence, build their skill set, hopefully create opportunities for themselves to play at the next level. There's a lot of good energy and hopefully opportunity there.
You mentioned the pandemic. Can you sense the excitement from everyone and maybe even from yourself just being back in the gym and being able to put this on again?
Absolutely. There's a lot of anticipation for this specific event here in the Bay. We went around to the 4 regions around the country and located the best underrated talent on both the boys and girls side. And like you said, to have an ability to be in person, for them to interact with me, for me to be able to interact with them and feel that energy, it's going to be hopefully a memorable event for them.
What's the level of competition going to be like here in the Bay Area this weekend, this event?
Well, the way that, obviously we formatted it in terms of finding, the best 64, 32 boys, 32 girls, and just understanding that there's a team element too, kind of representing your region, bringing that here to the Bay. Competition is going to be elite, and like you said, it's about those 3-star recruits, those overlooked, underrated kids that have a lot of confidence in themselves, but just looking for that opportunity to go kind of level up. And this weekend and the games that we have, and looking for our most underrated boy and girl, I think the competition will be very high.
I've covered athletics at every level: high school, junior college, Division I, Division II, pros. There's a lot of talent out there. So they're underrated because they're 3-star. What do you hope to instill in them that will get them to that next level?
That their journey is their own, and to own it, but don't ever lose faith and confidence in what makes you different, the work that you put in, and when your time's going to come. Like, I was a late bloomer, coming through the ranks in high school. I was the scrawniest, smallest kid on every team I played, but I worked hard. I knew I had a specific skill set that I could, continue to develop, and over time, if I, kept on that journey and didn't really compare myself to my counterparts at different checkpoints, because I didn't have the recruiting letters sophomore, junior year, even beginning of my senior year. It was just kind of fall in love with the journey that I was on, and hopefully they can adopt that mindset, believe in who they are, have confidence in who they are, understand that they have an opportunity to take advantage of this weekend and this stage, and hopefully the sky's the limit for them.
With all the success you've had, do you still see yourself as an underdog, and does that still kind of motivate you?
It's always a part of your DNA. There's always an element to feeling like you have to prove yourself, feeling like you want to be able to deserve the confidence that you get to go out there and play with every game, and that comes with the work that you put in. And no matter how much you accomplish, no matter what heights you reach, for me, that's what it all comes back to. So, yeah, I still have it, still part of my DNA, and no matter how long I'll play, I think that'll always remain.
Given today's news from the team, I think Dub Nation is going to be excited to hear that you're not in a walking boot. First question, how does your left foot feel?
Feels good. Like, I know it's not ideal in terms of the end of the season, but hopefully doing everything I can to get fully healthy, ready for a playoff run, and that's what it's all about at this point in time. Just being there for my teammates, trying to finish out the season strong, and know that whoever we play in the playoffs will be ready.
You knew where you were at in your progression and your rehab. Is there still disappointment that you're not able to come back for maybe 1-2 games in the regular season?
I hate missing any game, so absolutely. But like I said, I'm thankful that there's an opportunity to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully sooner than later. And everybody loves the bright lights of the playoffs, and it's nice that we're going to be back there after a 2-year hiatus, so I'm looking forward to it.
The team said, our coach said today, that you will begin basketball activities next week. What does that look like? Does it start slow and build up?
Yeah, everything is in the way that we operate in terms of coming back. It's just about being as strategic as possible in terms of those next steps. So I know what my target date is. I know it's trying to get back for game 1 of the playoffs, and whatever I got to do to get there, that's what the goal is.
Do you have to be careful not to rush that back because you want to get back for game 1 of the playoffs?
Yes and no. I mean, you don't want to rush where you put yourself in danger, and that's kind of why I know that I won't be able to play the rest of the regular season. But like I said, April 16th or 17th, whenever the game 1 is, that's the goal. Do everything in my power to be ready for those games that matter, and hopefully be as close to 100% as possible.
We see you on cutaways during the game, and you look like you're positive, but is it frustrating inside not being able to be on the court?
Yeah, and it's kind of the theme of the Warriors. This last 2 years, unfortunately, we've had a lot of guys that have missed time. Clay's been through it, James has been through it, Draymond's been through it this year. So you have to stay engaged as much as possible mentally, even if you can't be out there. And honestly, there are times where you're down because you want to be out there and you want to compete, and that's your happy place. But as long as I can, like I said, support my teammates, be as ingrained in what we're doing as possible, stay locked in mentally, then the transition back onto the court is a lot easier.
Does your voice as a leader change because you're not on the court? You can't hit that big 3 in a crucial moment?
Yes and no. They always listen to me though, so I can usually say whatever and I get a response. So.
But are you more vocal now?
Oh, you have to be. That's the only way I can. Like you said, I can influence. But it's more so just being, present, and like I said, bringing the positive attitude, because we know what we're trying to build towards, and you got to find ways to impact that.
Without you, the stretch has been rough. Last night was a positive against Phoenix. It looks like the chemistry is a little off. Does that all change and get solved once you're back on the court?
No, it's not about that. It's about, it's a long regular season. The 82 games is difficult. There are a lot of highs, a lot of lows. And kind of to the point of, how our season's gone, there hasn't been a consistent stretch where we've had everybody available. So you had a lot of different rotations and different parts of the season where you're kind of guessing who's going to be available. So that's hard for any team to go through. We're not the only team, going through it. But in terms of understanding who we are, our identity, and what we know we're capable of when the playoffs come around, like that confidence always is there.
Currently, you guys are the 4 seed. Any concern about losing the next couple of games, 3 games? Hopefully, you don't lose 5 in a row, sliding in that playoff scale.
Not really. It's just about like I said. For us right now, it's about how we're playing. We want to win. Obviously, we want to have something to show for it, but it's about how we're playing. It's about finding some type of identity in terms of Warrior basketball to get ready for the playoff run.
Coach Kerr said today, with Steph, 1 shot and it turns it all around, and there it is. He's ready to go. How long do you think it'll take you to get in game shape and be ready to play, hopefully, for game 1 of the playoff series?
That's what this whole process is about. From now until April 16th, I've gone through this before, so it shouldn't be difficult to match that playoff intensity, do what I need to do out there, and be myself as best I can. So I know how to grind through these injuries, and this will be no different.
This has been a strange season because expectations in the beginning maybe weren't as high. Then you had that peak in December. You had a big win over Phoenix. What are your expectations for the team? Do you still think this team can win the championship?
Absolutely. But the way that we're going to do it is not based on, teams of old. It's about, like I said, finding some identity of who this team is this last little stretch. And honestly, it's going to be a tough road because we're going to have a new rotation again when I come back. But that just means you have to find yourself every game, every possession, every minute's important, and we can start to scare some people once we get into the playoffs and find that warrior basketball.
You're a 3-time NBA champion and a 2-time league MVP. Now you're Stephen Curry, Oscar winner. How does that sound?
It's pretty surreal. Like I said, it's about obviously Queen Lucy and her story, the team that we were a part of to help bring that documentary to life and share her story. So I think the biggest thing is it just proves the audience for women's sports and historical figures in the game of basketball from women's perspective, and for it to be an Oscar-winning documentary, for her story to be on the stage like that, it's pretty amazing.
Do you have to make sure you keep your foot down to push women's sports forward, being a father of daughters?
I mean, absolutely. That's the goal in terms of continuing to empower and provide opportunity, and equity in the game is huge. Like, that's what this tour is about. That's why, you know, every slot of every available opportunity and slot on the tour for boys there are for girls. It's equal across the board, and you want to celebrate basketball for what it is. It's an amazing game. You learn a lot about yourself through it. There are amazing opportunities in professional sports, basketball, but also in the world of basketball. So we want to continue to uplift and empower and provide opportunity the best way we can. So that's what this tour should exemplify as well.
Do you have a spot on the trophy case where Oscar's going when it arrives?
Under my pillow, right? Sleeping right next to it.
Is there more pressure now when you go out and pick a project?
Nah. It's the same thing with like a championship or anything else. You just love the journey and good things happen. And you love who you get to do projects with. It's kind of my motto.
And because you tweeted about it, I'll ask, what was your reaction to the slap in Will Smith?
Next question.
Next question, fair enough. Since you are in the entertainment business, the last regular season home game, Bam Bam will perform at halftime of the Warriors game. Yeah, that's going to be a first. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because that's going to be big news. He's the first K-pop star to perform at an NBA halftime.
All I want is Andrew Wiggins to be his backup singer for like one song, and then.
Well, you'll be available though.
That'll make my I'll usher Andrew to the center stage. That's all I want. This, the least he could do for all the help during All-Star Weekend.
And to all the fans who will be watching this, do you have a message for them, for all the K-pop fans who are going to be tuning in? I'm sure they're big Warrior fans anyway.
Yeah, I mean, enjoy yourself like everybody does. It's whatever's for you.
Hey, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Hope you feel better and hope you're back on the court soon.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. Thank you very much.
You got it?
Yes, sir.